What's up, guys? Here with another video, and here's just another rant video. Me talking about the NBA, right? So I've been seeing all over the internet, all over social media. Well, mostly I'm on YouTube nowadays because I don't go on social media because it's a piece of junk these days. But that's not what the video is about. But I can only go on one social media because that's all I have the time for. So it's just too much trouble just walking all over social media. But anyway, it doesn't matter where you go anyway. But the NBA is in a lot of trouble right now, right? And technically, in a matter of a few years, sports gonna die, right? So I say that the NBA will probably be the first team to shut down in professional sport, right? It's not basketball anymore, right? That's what the NBA stands for, right? Instead of National Basketball Association, right? So not basketball again, not basketball anymore, or whatever that is, right? So yeah, the basketball and NBA product is absolutely suck, right? And this is why I don't want to watch it, right? Whether I watch it or not, but it's still gonna be crap at the end of the day, right? So, and people do not want to watch this anymore, right? So yeah, I did make a previous older video of me saying that the NBA is just a joke in general, right? And everybody agreed with me, everybody liked the video. So when people like me, that means they agree with you, right? And they definitely already see that as a problem and already addressed it, and then and they totally like it and they agree with me, right? So now I have to talk about this again because I don't care whether YouTube removed this video or not, or people just hate this video. I don't care what you think about it, man. Everybody's talking about it, so that means this problem cannot be ignored, right? Now you can ignore it because everybody is saying the same thing, right? I'm just bringing even more out there for you guys, right? More info, more proof spread out all over the internet, right? If everybody says the same thing and you hate that, then there's something wrong with you people. You messed up people, right? There's something wrong with you, honestly, right? So yeah, like that cannot be a lie, right? So yeah, Adam Silver has just killed the NBA, right? Like if Davis, we're just 10 years into this ball freak hands. The NBA just went to his hand, and you just 10 years and then boom, the NBA is just like single-handedly gone now, right? Everything, all the true NBA era is gone, right? It is like it's just like nobody watched except for these brainwashed people, right? The only reason why some people still view the NBA and why people think this is acceptable is because they're just brainwashed at the end of the day, right? It's just like me, the kids, right? Not even Gen Z wants to watch it, but I talk about the people, in the alpha generation, the people, who were born in middle school or high school, I think the brain are literally brainwashed by the brain media and the way, people are now jacking up all threes, right? I mean, the way the product has been messed up, like people speak about this so that way, people don't get brainwashed, in this, modern, NBA, right? They don't get brainwashed thinking like, oh, like this is acceptable for us, right? This is why our era is weak because, our standard has delivery lower, so they think this is the actual standard, but the actual real standard is way above us, right? And this is why, like I said, foreigner countries are better than Team USA basketball right now, and it is more pathetic. It is embarrassing, right? And I heard that like the NBA is like shipping themselves to China and all stuff, right? I know China's has I know that lots of Chinese people, some has really invested in into like basketball, and internal basketball knowledge and also, but the true NBA fan will speak like more in detail of like why they hate this modern NBA right now, because due to like their knowledge and all stuff, so they will educate every single people out there who have not been educated, right? So the ones who don't want to be educated, that's their problem. They don't want to see a problem. So yeah, the NBA is dead right now, just give the product, right? I can name you the and I'll talk about some specific problem, but I'm not gonna talk about all problems, because I already addressed it. My previous video is not good to repeat again. And also, because I feel like more the same thing, just keep repeating, right? Lots of teams are jacking up 3 points in the NBA. That is what's killing the NBA right now, right? Everyone jack up three. I get it, you want the score to be higher. I get it, like you want faster comebacks and all that stuff, but I say that the 3-point line has to be moved further back, or just remove the 3-point line completely, right? So that way you don't have these stupid kids going to school, going to the basketball court and just throw up three. So playing skilled games, right? Basketball sport, and competition has to be skill, right? And people don't want to be skilled anymore, right? And I've been heavily following Ticket TV, right? And I saw his video, his 2-minute video, or whatever, how long that is, seeing players getting ejected just because they just squared up, right? They didn't even throw physical punches and fight with them, right? And basketball is not physical anymore, You put physical in this era, you get suspended, or you get banned in the NBA. It's pathetic, man. It's just like, oh my God. I feel like I want to throw up right now. That's how terrible the NBA is, right? Yeah, you can just say, cuss word, you can say this and then, you get thrown out of the game. If I was referee and people who work for NBA, you should just, bruh, if you have this type of high integrity, then you should strike, right? You should go on a strike right now, man, because this is unacceptable, right? Even a real referee that knows how to really ref the game, if they were in real NBA, they will get fired too. So the real referees will definitely know how to officiate the game, not Adam Silver. Adam Silver is controlling everything. I feel like somebody is controlling this guy, right? Adam Silver should never be, should never be commissioner in any sport. I should never see this guy in history, right? People do not want to see this guy ever again, right? Yeah, saying it in a mad, angry voice, right? Because this is what actually kills the NBA product, right? So, yeah, and all that stuff, right? This is why the NBA is going nowhere. This is why the viewership has dropped like crazy, man. And now people are now tuning out. They go to NFL. I get sports supposed to be competition when it comes to view, but now NBA is losing all their audience, right? I mean, things supposed to happen, it did happen, right? And all this fullness and all this biasness, right? Ticket TV also, and also I've been following people saying that, or true NBA fan, or maybe Ticket TV. I know why the NBA sucks right now, because it's full of racism, right? Yeah, racism is still a problem in America, right? It still is, And this is why, a lot of people, technically go on strike, and stop, supporting the NBA, right? People, and there are lots of people who are true men, who are real men, or people who have common sense. They do not support racism, right? Yeah, racism is another problem, in this, crazy world. That's another problem, right? How is the NBA still racist, right? Obviously, they just criticize black coaches, right? And then when they criticize coaches that are not black, that are non-black, they don't get criticism, and they don't get called out, right? They don't. I know, there are white coaches that are way worse than black coaches, right? I give you a perfect examples. The team that I used to love a lot, and I'm loyal to. I used to be a big I'm not a big Warrior fan, but I used to be a Golden State Warrior fan, right? And I know that to me, as honestly, as a Warrior, if I was a Warrior fan, I really want Mark Jackson back, right? But then, ever since I hired Steve Kerr has been the dumbest coach in history, man. And he doesn't get criticized, right? They've been blackballing, high qualified coach job, for whatever reason that is, got the politics up. NBA has gone to politics, right? I told you stay away from politics, and look what happened. Got too much controversy, bring too much problem, and now he can't be a coach. Oh, that perfectly explains why Mark Jackson is never a head coach, will never get a head coach, and will never be NBA since 2014, because that's when Adam Silver walks in the NBA in 2014, right? Just about 10 years ago. Well, going to be 11 years because it's 2025, so it's going to be 20. So it's going to be 11 years eventually. So yeah, that perfectly explains a lot, why a lot of the black coaches gets fired for no reason, right? I remember they criticized Doc Rivers, Darvin Ham. When people are making fun of Darvin Ham, they say Darvin Ham this, Darvin Ham that, and NBA hates Darvin Ham, and they let the Lakers fire Darvin Ham, even though Darvin Ham did a fantastic job. They turned Darvin Ham, one of the best coach in the NBA, into the Darvin scam, man. I cannot believe Darvin became a scam, and people are calling him Darvin scam, Darvin spam, Darvin ass. Oh my goodness, man. All that stuff. And also, the NBA, players, are so, sensitive and all that stuff, right? So, yeah. It's just like, on social media is also another reason, why, people just criticize this player, and then the player gets upset, and then, they want to talk down on us. It's like this again, right? Especially, LeBron James, right? And then the NBA doesn't investigate, like there's this, foolishness, going on, right? I mean, the NBA has been treating people really unfairly, That's another thing. Like I said, racism, and also, like some players do whatever they want to do, this all type of foolishness, and they get no punishment, and they get away with, and they get away with it, and that is a total BS right there, and that is so messed up, man. I'm like, if I do these for real, I'd probably be in jail right now, right? You know what Draymond Green does on the court? Draymond Green, stomping on people, kicking people, doing all this type of stuff, intentionally hurting people, and he does get very minimal punishment, and that is so unfair. If another player does it, he'll be blackballed out of the league right now. Or I won't be surprised, like if Draymond Green goes to jail, right? I won't be surprised, right? And that's not, and I don't care if I'm a Warriors fan or not, right? I don't care if I love the Warrior a lot, right? But I just want Draymond Green out of the league, man. I want Draymond Green gone, man. That guy should never be in the NBA, right? Their player that should never be. Bronny, oh my fuck. For God's sake, Bronny, man. Oh my goodness, There's a high school kid that can cook Bronny right now, right? I mean, legitimate, if he's skilled, and if he's like 7 feet tall, right? Bronny James, are you serious? Oh my God, Man, don't even get me started with this dude. Like, okay, let's take that out of conversation, because I already talked about Bronny James, right? Oh my God, if he wasn't the father of LeBron James, then he would never be in the NBA, right? Just to be honest with you, right? Like, I don't care how good Bronny is, right? I do not want this guy to be in the NBA. Nobody wants him to be in the NBA, right? Oh my goodness, but ever since he signed that contract, like, okay, I lost respect for him, Bronny, you put yourself in this situation, right? And don't blame on your narcissist, father, right? Oh my God, the Lakers are the biggest joke in the NBA. Oh my goodness. Adam Silver should step down, and so is Jeannie Buss, right? This is why nobody wants to work for the Laker organization, right? Man, everybody gets criticized for the wrong reason in the NBA. That's another reason why the NBA is going down in history, right? It's going down, man. Like, if I was like Rob and all that Laker, man, the drama, the Lakers, bad girls, town, like gangster. Oh my God, man. The Lakers are the biggest joke running franchise in history. I remember in 2017, they get blown out by 50 points to a garbage Mavericks team, right? The team, that never made the playoff, right? I mean, if they play back in the old days, like, they won't even sniff 20 wins, right? I'm like, come on, man. You talk about a team that's below 25, like 250, or way below 500. They're blowing out teams by like 50 points, man. Oh my God, I remember that day, I made a video about it. Oh my God, it was so embarrassing. It was so messed up. Man, oh man. This is why the NBA is laughable, It's also because of, blowouts, right? I watched Sport Fitness Rant just a few minutes ago. I mean, just a couple hours ago. He's complaining about there are so many blowouts in the NBA. That is true, And there are really bad teams that are beating the shit out of the other team by a huge mountain margin. Can you believe that, man? It's not just a 10 or 15 point beatdown, man. It's like, it is humongous. And that team is dog shit, man. They are G League, man. This team shouldn't be in the NBA, not even qualify, and they're beating NBA teams by crazy, man. Oh my God, even the China team would have beat that team. Oh my God, the NBA is a joke. Like, they keep lying us like they're like bigger, stronger, faster, but these players are just like jogging, See, this is why there's more lazy people out there, right? And this is why I feel like, the world record, in this, that was beaten in this era is not respectable, right? And I heard that, James Harden passed, Ray Allen, LeBron James passed, 3-point, Kyle Kuzma or whoever that is, or Mike Miller or whoever that is, like, oh my God, the NBA is so laughable, man. It's laughable. It's not a joke. I'm like laughing at these people, man. Like, yeah, this is why nobody's watching it, Everybody just chuck up three. And this is why the blowouts are insane, right? I swear, I freaking swear in the NBA. I swear, man, if a team come back from a 40-point deficit, or if a team blows out another team by 80 plus points, I'm never watching the NBA ever in my life until the day I die, man. I'll ban myself watching NBA for at least the next 100 plus years. If I see a 100-point blowout or 80-point blowout, like, the blowouts are freaking insane, man, right? That's what Sport Fitness Rant saying, like, there are so many 30-point blowouts, 40-point blowouts. Like, there's so many blowouts that even the huge margin blowout, it happens even more frequently than, a team that plays overtime, right? That it almost appears on, almost daily basis. Like, there's so many blowouts that it's even more blowout than the number of games, a team just played this season, right? We just passed the 1/3 of a waypoint, in the NBA, right? And I can even remember these blowouts. That's how bad these blowouts are, man. They are really so bad that I can even remember them. And that should not be the case. That should never been. And NBA, blowouts are saying the NBA happened in this way because it is ripped in script, right? The NBA should definitely eliminate the cup, right? I really respect Darvin Ham, and I have much love to that Darvin Ham. Thank you, Darvin Ham, for not celebrating that stupid, ridiculous end season cup, man, that NBA has invested, right? I know that you put champagne bottle stuff, but really, man, championships should only happen once a year, not like twice a year, because that's like over celebrating, and that's like, yeah, that's killing NBA, right? Nobody wants to see the NC Cup, and we obviously should get rid of the playing tournament, right? The playing game. And why is that, right? I know that some people love the play-in, but I say that a lot of true fans don't like it because we do not want to see the goddamn 15th seed going against the number 1 seed, right? I mean, the playoffs should only be 8 teams. You at most no 9 seed, no 10 seed, right? Because we see like a lot more unqualified team, just walk their asses, in the playoff. Excuse my language, like walk their asses in the playoff, and do you feel awkward and do you feel so weird that you're seeing a team that will sit in the 15th seed all of a sudden working hard, I get like they're supposed to be tanking, but now like I get like the play-ins, I do partially agree why the NBA needs to keep the play-in, so that way to avoid tanking and all stuff, right? But yeah, tanking in the NBA is also a big problem of why the NBA is dying and all stuff, right? But I feel like playing tournament just encourage team just to play hard, just to get in the playoff, but still it does not make a difference. That's how pathetic the NBA is, right? You're seeing a team that's like all the way to the dead bottom, like 13th seed. I remember the Phoenix Suns in 2020 almost made the playoff. They were sitting in the 13th seed. They was almost dead last in the NBA, almost made it to the playoff, right? I mean, just imagine, they're facing the first seed. Like, yeah, you do not want to see them, play, because definitely they'll get blowout. And definitely, they have like no reason to be in the playoff, and it'll just truly expose that team, right? At the end of the day, so yeah, it's awkward, like seeing like a really bad team face against really good team playoff. That means that you'll definitely see very lopsided and all stuff, and it does not make the NBA that makes the NBA very unwatchable too. So I get like why there, and also NBA should make a rule saying that like teams should stop tanking in the NBA, right? Tanking has been a real big problem. This is why the 76ers, for example, like they were one of the bad team in the NBA. It was like one of the biggest problem in the NBA, like teams just tanking every time, they don't want to compete out there. They just want to get good players just to build their futures and all stuff, right? I feel like team needs to stop, losing on purpose, just to like benefit them in the future, right? Yeah, I just didn't. Back then, I have no knowledge of the NBA of like why a team wants to purposely lose. I'm like, that's just so messed up right there. The NBA is so messed up. People should have the hunger to win, not the hunger to lose. Not the hunger to tank for a first round pick, right? That's another thing that's come up to my head. Like nobody, that maybe some people do talk about, or I just don't hear it's YouTube, but now I just address this new problem, that people don't obviously see, right? So the obvious part is player flopping and all that stuff, chucking up all threes. When you shoot so many 3-point and the other team doesn't, that's another reason why blowouts happen more frequently and all that stuff, right? I've been seeing like 30-point blowout, 40-point blowout, or 50-point blowouts. Just a couple days ago, there was a 50-point blowout, and it was absolutely, like, it's so laughable, man. That team does not want to show up and has no, that team just doesn't want to show up to work for some reason, right? Or they just don't care about us anymore, and make our fan base look so stupid and, pathetic, right? It's just embarrassing, I just look, so because there are real NBA fans that I really want their attention, I really want my voice to be heard, right? As I record this video, so I spent like hours, researching on, NBA blowouts. I did my research there, so you have to give me credit there. I did just for sake for you guys. If I don't get enough credit, then it is what it is, right? It was just for fun and just to see, how pathetic this modern NBA is, right? So the NBA, so just in 2014 alone, I know that we're like 1 week away from 2025. I'd say like almost half of the NBA teams that got blown out by at least 40 points or more, right? There are 30 teams active in NBA, but I say 14 of, but to be accurate, to be very accurate, 14 teams that have faced a blowout that's like 40 points or more, man, right? And that's insane, right? So that means like more than half of the NBA, that have a losing margin, or they have a lopsided score that's like 30 points or more, right? But to have a lopsided score that's at least 40 points or more, in the NBA as of 2024, is almost by half of the NBA. And that is ridiculous, man. Because going back into 1999, so I searched back, in the past, I look at a team, worst blowout in their history and all that stuff. 40-point blowouts don't happen that frequently, guys. It rarely happens. Maybe just like once a year or twice a year, but now, it's happening on a monthly basis, and that is insane right there. I mean, do you want to watch these blowouts, I mean, yeah, because when a blowout happens, like 20 points or more, usually when the blowouts happen, people don't watch these type of games. They don't watch it because it's so boring and it's not competitive, right? Just imagine, like a person, that's beating you, by like miles, The competition is unwatchable because it's not even close anymore and it's not exciting. Competition can only be exciting if it's like close, and if it's like very exciting and trains like 5 points, 7 point differential, but point differential differentiating by 40 points, that who obviously gonna win. There's no point watching it because you already know who's gonna win basketball, right? You already know. And that's why blowouts should not happen too often, right? It's just insane, The score is inflated, Players don't want to put their full effort out there. Players, low managed, right? Even if they play all 82 games, they don't want to put whole effort out there. LeBron's a perfect example of like why he can play all these games, but then he doesn't get full effort. Players don't want to play defense, staying around here, chucking up all this shot. It's just like getting so boring, man. The NBA is so boring, right? So yeah. So anyway, I'll be talking about this blowout that just happened a couple of days ago. So I'll tell you like what type of blowout that should have never happened, and that I have never seen. Some blowouts are so bad that I have never. This is the worst blowout I ever seen ever in my life, right? Ever in my life, right? So, and this is why I'm probably gonna remember it for the rest of my life, right? That's just how bad these blowouts are, right? I talk about the Golden State Warrior versus the Memphis Grizzlies, right? They have the Warrior got beat down by 51 points. 51 points to the trash ass Memphis Grizzlies, man. Right? And that makes the game really unwatchable, right? Golden State Warrior do have offense, right? Also, right? So yeah, this is their karma, for actually keeping this, full Draymond Green, right? And awesome, right? The Memphis Grizzlies beat the Golden State Warriors 93 to 144. That is a 51-point game differential right there. Decided by the score. 51 points. And I remember, as a Warrior fan, if I was a Warrior fan, I would be very embarrassed. I would really rant about this. I would be so upset, right? I remember the Golden State Warrior, was kicking everybody's ass, in the NBA. But now, and we even beat the Grizzlies by 50 points. But now, it's like a sweet revenge. The Grizzlies are beating the Warriors by 50 points, right? Do you want to watch that game? No, right? That's what Sport Fitness Brand said, And then here is the ridiculous thing that CAA. Here is something worse than the Warriors' 50-point blowout, right, to the Memphis Grizzlies. So the Utah Jazz, right? The Utah Jazz have a losing margin of about 10 points per game. And they have only 5 wins in the season. And one of their 5 wins was a 40-point blowout. Are you insane, man? The team that has no business to operate in the NBA. The team that has no business to ever win in the NBA. Right? The team that will probably only have 5 wins in the regular season if they play in the 1980s or in Michael Jordan's era, right? The lowly Utah Jazz team beat the Portland Trail Blazers 99-141, a 42-point blowout, and they play on the road. And I know that lots of teams don't play well on the road, right? The Jazz are probably, and that team is probably going to be worse than the Charlotte Bobcat, the 2012 Charlotte Bobcat. That's like losing to the G League, to the high school, basketball team, Charlotte Bobcat, by like 40 points or 50 points. The Portland Trail Blazers, have a really big issues, when it comes to playing NBA. Like, they've been losing like 30, 40 points decided, by a weak team. That should have never happened. The Utah Jazz should have never beat the Portland Trail Blazers by 40 points. That is unacceptable, man. That is really unacceptable. And then, see, that's another thing. Team blown this team, and then they get blown by another team, the next side. Happened to Utah Jazz. Same thing, they get blown out by 40 whatever fucking points, to the Sacramento Kings. See, that's what happened the next game, right? So that's what I'm saying right there, right? So yeah, that's how insane these blowouts are, right? Usually when the team loses by like 10 points like every night, they should have one blowout, when they play, for all 82 games. Their blowout should different no more than like, let's say 20 points, but they're being teamed by 40 points. That is unheard of, man. Right? Just imagine, and the Utah Jazz play only like 26, 25 games, so having an average differential of 10 points, imagine if they didn't win 40 points that night, right? Just imagine, that means their average point differential is probably 12 points. It has to be at least 12 points, right? To overcome, a 40-point win, they have an average losing margin of 10 points, man, right? The Utah Jazz are getting blown out like almost every night, right? And they still only lose 10 points. And why is that? Because they just beat the Portland Trail Blazers by like 40 ridiculous points. This is absolutely ridiculous, man. Even good teams don't win by 40 points, right? And you got bad teams out there. No, I don't even call them bad team. Like, unqualified team. Unqualified, NBA no business team beat the other team by 40 points. Portland Trail Blazers should have, I say half of the NBA of team should sell their team, and never be in the NBA. That's why the NBA is dead. Because 15 of these franchise teams are disrespectful, man. Right? If you're gonna continue to put this product out there, sell out your team and sell your franchise and close this team out, man. Because this is plain old ridiculous, man. If the fan ever complain about this, trash products out there, right? That's what makes it, right? The game should be more fun. There should be more competition. I mean, this is like becoming a buddy-buddy league. This is why the NBA wants everybody to be buddy-buddy, form a super team, and just, completely annihilate another team like this, right? And having, average point differential. And the Washington Wizards, that team should also go out too. I don't care what you say, man. That team has the worst season, but if a team loses by like 40 or more points, Adam Silver should find these teams, right? Or either say that you continue to lose, you either pay the fine, or we're going to totally eliminate you and destroy this team and close out this franchise, right? That's how it should be, man. The NBA is just not that strict and is becoming very soft and all stuff, right? Just bang physicality, bang the people, get automatic suspension already, right? So, yeah, that's how pathetic, this modern product NBA is, right? Lots of biasness, and also the NBA is promoting, around, LeBron James and all stuff, right? Everybody that's what Tiki TV was saying, like people that don't deserve to be praised, the team that they supposed to be praising, they don't do it. They do the ones that needs attention, that doesn't deserve to have a lot of attention. For example, like LeBron James, all stuff, right? It's just, like biased and unbiased, man, right? People are really biased when it comes to the NBA, right? All the ESPN analysts and all stuff, right? So, yeah. They're a young team like the OKC Thunder, the Cavaliers, right? Who's also another good team? I don't trust the Memphis Grizzlies. Okay, Memphis Grizzlies are not a good team, to be honest with you. They are fraud. Okay, the Thunder, the Cavaliers, and the Celtic. Maybe the Celtic, right? Maybe. No, Celtic. Celtics are kind of fraud, but yeah, see the team that are top of the NBA, the team that deserve to be praised, they should be the one that NBA should be promoting, right? They should be promoting, because I really like that Thunder team, right? I do not like the Thunder team, but I really like the current Thunder team as the core they built right now. So yeah, the Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Chet Holmgren, I really love that team, right? That's a team they should be, promoting and move forward on, right? And LeBron has to retire in the NBA to be safe, right? I feel like LeBron is also the biggest problem of like why the NBA sucks right now. LeBron James does all these foolishness, not only brings down the NBA, but attending these Diddy parties. Ain't no party like a Diddy party, right? That's what you said, LeBron, right? That made me suspect that LeBron is a big troublemaker. I don't know his allegation, right? I do not want to follow LeBron because LeBron's just too much, man. He's just causing so much problem, for the NBA all stuff, making the Lakers look so unwatchable and all stuff. The Lakers are so much better without LeBron James, right? And also LeBron is better than Anthony Davis. Like, Anthony Davis should be better than LeBron James, right? He should have more credit than LeBron James, not LeBron James. LeBron James should have less credit than Anthony Davis, right? Anthony Davis needs more, not LeBron James, in terms of help, right? So, see, this is where it gets really messed up, all stuff, right? The Lakers, the LeBron is just a complete embarrassment, right? That is the reason why, the Lakers suck right now, because of LeBron James, man. That was the biggest reason. So yeah, but the NBA never addressed that, right? They never criticize on, LeBron James and all stuff, right? And all the delusional fans, all these, messed up people, I think they want the NBA to be this bad, and they got what they deserve, right? Yeah, it's just messed up, of what type of NBA, that I am watching right now, right? It is so disturbing, right? So yeah, players get injured and they become, more fragile, right? That's the NBA right now. This is why it has, gone down, into, water to the abyss, right? I have to think of another reason, like what's causing the NBA, to the decline. And the NBA is gonna be, gone very soon. It's gonna be gone, and it's probably gonna get shut down, right? The only way to save the NBA is that, if the NBA is gone, then Adam Silver has to step down, right? And I cannot stand these owners in the NBA. That's another thing of why the NBA is dead too. It's not just play, but nobody cannot stand these owners, right? The owner don't give a flying crap about fans. They don't care about us. They're just here to sell your wolf ticket or whatever it is. Some are being absolutely disrespectful and racist, right? Just like Robert Sarver, right? I mean, Adam Silver should have, more severe punishment of, Rob Sarver should give him a much more bigger fine, and force him to sell the NBA. But no, Voices has to force him, to sell out that team, right? How, the owners has been mistreating people, also all these foolishness that's been going on in the NBA, right? So yeah, players get ejected, for no good reason, right? That's what's going on right there, right? And I don't know what just happened to All-Star, but now nobody's gonna watch the All-Star game, high scoring game, everybody jacks up 3, Yeah, the jacking up 3 is a big problem. I can tell how many problems I can explain that in detail, because it just doesn't want to make you run all the way to the basket, right? It just makes you lazy. You just stand out there and just shoot 3. It's like a make and miss league, right? Sometimes your 3-point goes in, sometimes it doesn't goes in. So yeah, I get 3-point does not ruin anything, but chucking up 3 is the reason why that is ruining the NBA. NBA has lots of problem, right? And player, asking for more money when they don't deserve to have more money, right? Yeah, I mean, and fans get ejected from the stands, just because they say something, to the professional player. I mean, professional players just cannot take, an insult, Players back in the old days, they were much more, they have deal with segregation, they have deal with real racism, they have deal with real problem, and they don't care, they'll play, they still play professionally, they still show up to work, right? People's life, and people, life quality is so really poor, and then they have to show up to work. People just deal with just a little bit problem and they don't want to show up to work already, man. Already don't want to show up to work. That is a real big issue out there. Then they have to set a minimum regulation of how many games to play, to qualify to be a award, right? I mean, the NBA should keep it simple. Whoever doesn't show up to work, they don't get paid. Right? Same thing with me, Same thing. It doesn't matter what type of job you work, right? If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid. It doesn't matter if you're sick or not. But unless if you're using your PTO, then you could still, not attend work and still get paid. But then, you have, of course, unless you're using your PTO, right? So pay time off. So yeah, there are people, that work, 100 times, hard than these NBA, pathetics out there, NBA players pathetic out there, and they get paid, a penny to $1, and they deserve way better than this. This is totally unacceptable, man. The G Leagues, the NBA G League back in the old days must be better than the NBA right now, man. Right now, and I'm serious, right? So yeah, what I'm watching is more like college, or more like high school basketball. Basketball has gone downhill significantly, right? So yeah, it's not professional anymore. It's more like you're watching a G League or college basketball because of the way the product they put up there. The blowouts are insane. Players are getting lazier now. They don't want to run full court. They just want to run half court and just chuck up all these shots. I say, whatever, we're playing no defense. Whatever, I'm going to shoot 3-point, because it makes me lazy, I don't have to run a lot, I just have to, and thinking this is skilled, right? I mean, if the NBA gets rid of 3-point, then maybe more fans will come back. Maybe more players realize they cannot have a fast-paced, running gun team scoring anymore. So, yeah, I mean, I remember the scores in play. I remember that scoring 100-point used to be, the real standard, right? But now it's not a standard anymore, 120 point is the standard. That means you know, like you're scoring like 20 points more per game, you know, that means, you know, that team just score, and I get it's all fun and all stuff, but then it gets boring, you know. After a while, you know, now your 104 points are happening more frequently. Soon it might go to 150. My teams are not playing overtime, and they have to score, and they score like some team even average more score than they did when they play overtime back in the past. So some team has to play like maybe like 5 or 6 or 7 overtime or infinite amount of overtime, you know, and still will not get to a score of today's. That's how bad the defense is, and this is no exaggeration, man. If you're playing overtime, then yeah, your score has to go really high. But if you don't play overtime, then your score better be low. That means you better play some defense, you professional, pathetic players, right? That's really getting, you know, these fans on their nerves, right? So yeah, that's just how bad the product is, you know. That's how really, really bad it is. So yeah, it's just unbelievable, you know. I'm like speechless, you know. Losing, and also a team, you know, that don't want to put product out there, that don't care about fans, have an average losing margin of 15 points or more per night. That means every night you're getting blown out, right? Losing by 50 points can be a blowout, right? Losing by 15 points every single game is insane, you know, with wins, right? That means one of the game must be a really bad, big blowout. So yeah, you know, the game should be much more closer. It should not be, you know, too far apart. It should not be decided by, you know, 20 or more. The lopside should not be like half score and all that stuff. One time I see a score, you know, like 52, like 50 to 100. That's absolutely lopsided. Like your point differential is more than your score, right? That's what makes the NBA, you know, so you know, so bad, so unwatchable, so laughable, right? People are just gonna laugh at this, man, instead of watching it, man. It's just ridiculous. Like, you got so many clowns running in the NBA, so yeah, I really don't believe it, man. Really don't. I feel like if a player gets blown out like every day, I feel like they just give up. That's what it shows to me, you know, right? I'm like, how do these players get injured so bad? Like, how, man? Like, how is this? And then how, you know, these really bad players, you know, tend to look like superstar when they don't be qualified to be superstar, right? And like, how is this NBA is getting so weird and all stuff? Like, how is this happening, you know? Because competition is getting so weak. That's why all the bad teams, you know, are probably winning, you know, more games than they should not be winning, right? That's why they look very overrated. So it is what it is, you know. Inflated score, inflated stats. Players are just want to play for stats instead of, you know, play to win the game, right? So yeah, players are just looking, you know, shortcuts in here and there, you know, asking for all ridiculous amounts of trades, you know. As soon as they become superstar, they get superstar treatments and all stuff. So yeah, that's another thing, is once a player, you know, has reached his competition, or once they qualify as a superstar in the NBA, like, they get all this treatment and they're just taking advantage of that. So people are just taking advantage, and they don't want to take full responsibility of that. The NBA, it's gonna be gone. So peace out and goodbye.